Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to CosmoMuse Tarot. And this Wednesday reading, I am coming back into a healing message where I choose a deck that has much deeper insights and lengthier, guidance in the guidebook than a typical deck. Most of these decks I use for the healing readings or healing messages are from Alana Fairchild. Not everyone, but a good portion of them. She goes into great depth and has a lot of just beautiful insight and wisdom and intelligence around very healing messages. And this week I'm using her Medicine Heart Oracle, Shamanic Wisdom of the Divine Feminine. And this deck has a lot to do with the feminine side of shamanism, which is the healing side and the soul-making side. So really getting some soul messages and some messages to help your soul come into greater fruition. So we are going to pick 3 piles to choose from. If you feel like you need multiple messages in this vein, feel free to pick multiple piles. If you're not feeling any of the piles, maybe check back in a week or so. Okay, so let's get, feeling this one. So we've got Crested Crane makes the center for pile 1. Feeling this one too. Pile 2 is Second Sight. And pile 3, is Priestess of Tellura. Beautiful. I don't think I have picked any of these cards before in a reading or for myself, so this will be fun. Okay, so look over these 3 piles, feel into if any of them or multiples of them are drawing you in. Timestamps will be in the descriptions, and I will see you in your readings. Hello, beautiful pile 1. Welcome to your healing message. You guys chose this beautiful card. It's the 39th card of the Medicine Heart Oracle. Crested Crane marks the center. I love how the light's even hitting it right now. Okay, so before I get into, I'm actually really just going to be reading from the guidebook for this, giving you direct wisdom from the creator of this oracle. And it is many pages long, so kind of buckle in for just a beautiful reading of a message. But before we start, I'm going to pull a tarot card that might indicate why you were drawn here specifically to this message. And we have Knight of Cups for you. And so something about like really getting in touch with more motivation, more energy from your heart, from your fluidity, from your sensitivity to, put those things out into life in a more exuberant, more energetic, more excited way, like getting more in touch with your romantic side, your creative expression, all of these kinds of things. So something about this message may tap into that reason why you're here. Okay, so I will now just read straight from the book for you guys about this message. And then at the end, there's like a healing process, and that also for your card is a couple of pages. So the message and the healing process are both somewhat long. So here we go. Okay, Crested Crane marks the center. The center of the mandala is the place where it is all possible. The center is the call to an evolutionary shift with steadiness and grace. A spiritual shift generates excitement, confusion, chaos, and creative freedom. This is a wild card moment on the soul path where many new potentials and opportunities arise as if out of nowhere. It is the realm of magic, synchronicity, and the unexpected. Things may seem to be falling apart, but in a more meaningful and true way, they are really falling into place. I love that cohesion between the tarot card and what's coming out with this card. Really cool. Okay, crested crane belongs to a genus that includes 2 distinct forms of African cranes. Unique to this genus, these cranes nest, sleep, and rest in trees, which makes them excellent at avoiding predators. Their territory will be chosen based on where trees exist to seek shelter during nightfall. They also seek shelter amongst cattle as other means of protection from predators. Crane teaches how to seek spiritual shelter as a form of protection, knowing how and where to rest and let go and rise above situations energetically, which helps detangle your energy field from that which would not be healthy for you. Crested crane are teachers for evolving humanity. Only recently acknowledged as a distinct species with sufficient genetic difference to support taxonomic differentiation, relating to more than only variation in color, crested crane reminds the soul of its capacity for evolution. Your spiritual transformation occurs through the culmination of subtle changes within that may not be noticed by others at first. You can recognize the difference in the person you are becoming and know that in time you will complete your transformation. Eventually, others will be able to see and appreciate who you truly are. Even in the absence of such external validation, you can honor who and what you are, a divine doula for the new humanity awakening. Your innate purpose is to embrace your personal path of spiritual awakening, and in doing so, you will support humanity through this profound transformation into a new era. The blue-eyed crested crane is a subspecies of the African gray-crowned crane and is the national bird of Uganda, depicted on its flag. Through colonial rule and post-colonial independence, this regal bird has remained a symbol of the Ugandan soul. The oracle speaks of a true you that has survived the past and will survive all changes in your life, no matter how radical, continuing to thrive into the future. The real you will be expressed in many different situations in many different ways. You will find your way through all transitions, distilling even more of your real self into embodiment through the process. You know how to remain true to yourself whilst also evolving and expressing yourself in new ways. Uganda is nestled in the heart of eastern Central Africa, home to a diverse range of ethnic groups with over 40 living languages. Ugandan terrain expresses a rich range of ecosystems from volcanic swamp to forest, rivers, one of the largest freshwater lakes in the world, and stunning mountain ranges with snow-capped peaks hiding their glaciers within a veil of clouds. With soils considered to be amongst the most productive of the planet, the diverse natural systems of Uganda are home to the endangered species, straddling the challenges of deforestation and the protection bestowed through numerous national parks. Ugandan history dates human activity back at least 50,000 years, and political challenges have faced Ugandan society throughout its radically evolving journey. The quest that faces Uganda is the quest that faces humanity. How does one successfully integrate diversity and unity? How do we reconcile apparently opposing forces or needs in society and within our own lives? One way in which parts of Africa in particular have managed this is through religious syncretism, where indigenous traditions incorporate elements of Christianity and Islam. This unconventional approach expresses an inclusive yet liberating and nonconformist spirit, where many voices are heard and honored, recognized as part of the whole, even if that process of integration is at times imperfect. There is a willingness to embrace the mess of imperfect alignment between various viewpoints and find the common ground. In psychotherapeutic healing, we might refer to this as the good enough mother. There is no need to strive for unattainable perfection out of fear that without it all shall be damned to hell. There is just the need for enough. When we find the good enough mother within ourselves and our world, idealism and pragmatism support each other rather than polarizing into extremes that ultimately fostered divisiveness, disappointment, and perennial sense of human deficiency. Wisdom asks us to gentle fanaticism and fantasy and consider dispensing with perfectionism, extreme approaches, or demanding that something be entirely this way or that. The wisdom way is often a moderate, integrative approach, imperfect, and yet the only way to get the job started, let alone completed. Muddling along can result in tremendous accomplishment. Recognize that your efforts are enough. More than enough, actually. They are marvelous. And give yourself permission to muddle. Great things will come from it. At the center of the mandala, a crested crane invites you to enter spiritual spaciousness. This is the realm of radical enlightenments. Karmic seeds dissolve in an instant. Spontaneous, sacred shattering of constructs and conditioning leads to rapid inner and outer reorganization. An encounter of spiritual space awakens an innately felt acceptance of reality as it is, naked and free from ideation and interpretation. That includes your sense of true self. If another decides to project evil or divinity upon your soul, you can remain steady in self-knowledge rather than confused with anger, fear, pride, or inflation. That space is not only within the mandala, it is within you. Remember this, and you will know where you are meant to be on earth at any given time and what you are meant to do to serve the greater good from moment to moment. You will know because it will feel true to your heart. You may have many mysteries unfolding in your life and yet can still experience peaceful readiness to wing it, soaring like crested crane to the place of the tree of life that feels like home for you. The oracle speaks of a spiritual homecoming and of naturally, spontaneously assuming one's rightful place in all the worlds, material and spiritual, of finally reclaiming yourself, taking full spiritual possession of your being and assuming responsibility and freedom to live your unique human path in harmony with your essence. Like crested crane, born with the regal crown of feathers, you are innately crowned with spiritual sovereignty. Sovereignty at a spiritual level is a capacity to live in integrity with one's authentic being, expressing the grace of your divinity and the dignity of your humanity. Bless the mess and enjoy the freedom of the real and true you. So there's a healing process I'll do next, but this feels like all of this sort of coming into the middle ground, coming into a spaciousness of acceptance and just allowing things to be, synthesized and imperfect, but in its imperfection, just beautiful and holistic and fruitful. This feels like who you're becoming, this Knight of Cups. That's what this feels like to me. Okay, so the healing process we will get into now. You can dedicate this practice to any issue for healing from conflict into peace and unity. It is not to avoid the growth edges that can be found through engaging mindfully with conflict, but rather to evoke a swifter and more spiritually imbued resolution. It is an offering to this end, not a directive to control circumstances or override the free will of humanity. Place your hand at your heart and notice the physical sensation of connection between your hand and your chest. Feel the spiritual connection is enhanced and strengthened through this physical connection. Notice the flow of your breath in and out. As you breathe in, your own awareness follows the breath, leaving behind the outer world and traveling within. As you exhale, your awareness settles deeper within. When you are ready, state your intention for the practice and then move on with this prayer of dedication. For the spiritual benefit of all beings and with divine grace and mercy, I create this sacred offering toward integration, understanding, tolerance, compassion, freedom, and unity for the manifestation of peace, goodwill, and love for all. Sense, intend, or imagine that you are within a sacred circle of graceful, blue-eyed, golden-crested dancing cranes. Their wings are vast, wider than your height. They bob their heads and lift their legs in elegant steps, opening and closing their wings in a regal dance of spiritual openness and divine beauty. Allow yourself to meditate and participate in this beautiful dance in your own way, sensing your own spiritual moving in the sacred dance too. You may be seated, meditating, or moving as you wish. Let this be the action of your first offering. You become aware of a great mother tree within the center of the circle. Each crane flies up to nest in this sacred protective tree, finding its place and perching comfortably. You are spiritually connected to this ancient tree. Find your place within that tree, seated at the base or hugging the trunk or climbing and resting amongst its branches. You become aware of a tremendous heartbeat within this tree. It becomes radiant and filled with light. You realize that it is the goddess manifesting as the tree of life, sharing love, protection, and safety for all beings who turn to her. Intuit the peaceful and protective power. You belong to the mother goddess, to the mother tree. You are her own. Sense your sacred kinship with crested crane. Feel the warmth, comfort, and strength of this belonging. Let this feeling become the substance of your second offering. When you are ready, offer any prayers or intentions to the Mother Goddess tree. Offer your gratitude and prayers to her for whatever feels true for you in this moment. Let these words become your third offering. When it feels right, intend or imagine that you return to your body in the here and now. All energies generated by your offering dissolve into spiritual spaciousness, instantly available to benefit all beings. Become aware of your breath, the air on your skin, and the warmth of your blood. Move a little. Ground yourself with intention to be present in the here and now. Take a deep breath in and exhale fully. Place your hands in prayer and bow your head. You have completed your healing practice. All right, that is your healing message. Hopefully that resonated, sunk in, but feel free to, listen to it over and over. When maybe there's something in the outer world that happens that kind of sparks some remembrance of what was said here, or something that stuck out to you, and maybe that inspires you to come back and listen again and integrate it more deeply. I think sometimes these messages are best when we, listen, give some space, listen again, give some space, and even like a third time. So, all right. I wish you guys a beautiful day wherever and whenever you are, and beauty with this healing message as well. All right. See you guys. Hello, beautiful pile 2. Welcome to your healing message. You guys picked this second sight card, number 5. Before we get into your message, which I will be reading directly from the guidebook, I do want to pick a tarot card for you as an indication or a significator for you of maybe why you were drawn to this message, what it is that you are here for. Feeling this card, 10 of Pentacles. So there may need to be some healing around feeling sort of integrated in the flow of material in your life and a generous spirit about material in your life. But overall with like the bees, it feels like that movement of material and physicality and pleasure and resources. So maybe some healing coming in for you around this. Okay, so let's jump into the guidebook. Buckle in. It's a few pages of interpretation for your card, and then there's about 2 pages with a healing process as well. Okay, second sight. Second sight is the spiritual vision or clairvoyance of the soul. Your vision of a situation may not yet be completely clear, but your soul knows how to remedy that. Be willing to look beneath the surface and sense the truth. Such knowledge is a karmic birthright, for the answers to all questions are provided as an expression of spiritual grace. Know that you are blessed with spiritual guides and soul guardians who are looking out for you. When you are ready to receive it, you will be gifted with the knowledge of what is true and what to do. Owl is unusual amongst the feather kin. Her eyes face forwards rather than being at the sides of her head. She is able to sense distance with great precision. She also has the capacity to hunt accurately in complete darkness due to her exceptional hearing. She relies upon sight and sound rather than scent to hunt successfully. Wolf has sharp vision and hearing and has high intelligence, yet his most powerful sense is smell. Together, this unlikely duo represents the fullness of spiritual discernment, insight, and the capacity to recognize and accurately interpret subtle energies, including messages of spiritual guidance. Their collective power symbolizes truth grasped from amongst even the most confusing or veiled of situations. Both owl and wolf are apex predators and nocturnal hunters. In soul language, this refers to the spiritual capacity for self-protection and self-care, even when you cannot consciously know all that is happening around you. The oracle advises that even if you may not yet know all the relevant facts, your intuition will help you navigate your life path effectively and successfully. Be willing to discern when to pause and when and how to act rather than diving in without forethought or taking things at face value. Successful hunters assess situations from a wider perspective and wait for the right timing before taking action. Through a combination of wisdom, instinct, and intuition, your timing will be excellent and you will not allow anyone or any situation to get the better of you. As hunters, the soul totem learnings for owl and wolf teach how to overcome fear and hesitation and to claim what is rightfully yours. There can be a reluctance in sensitive people to assert their own worth. That's what this is, maybe a reluctance to assert your worth and claim what rightfully belongs to them, such as personal space or respect. Sometimes such hesitancy is based on a misconception that to do so would be an expression of entitlement or selfishness rather than an act based on healthy self-esteem. Entitlement and selfishness are about taking from the earth without care or consideration, whereas healthy self-esteem is about a willingness to receive your divine birthright as a human being. It is not until you fully embrace and lay claim to your right to exist, your right to live your life in integrity with your own heart, that the fulfillment of your destiny can unfold. Given that fulfillment of destiny liberates karma and therefore brings spiritual benefit to all beings, to claim and live one's life fully is not a selfish act. It is an essential act of soul affirmation and the potential to manifest spiritual grace in our world. But we must have the courage to pursue and receive our destiny. There is something within yourself or your life that you need to zone in on. It may be an intuition that you need to acknowledge or a piece of information that you need to carefully consider. You may have to go hunting within to assess this awareness, preserving it from becoming hidden beneath layers of fear or doubt. The soul can circle around the fear, witnessing without judgment, gaining understanding of the secret beliefs driving the emotion and what the ancestral origins or contribution to those beliefs may be. From that clarity, you garner your wisdom, your intelligence, and your strength. You become ready for an inner reckoning from which you will arise triumphant over fear, having learned what soul medicine is needed. You have it within you to deal with anything that is taking place in your life. Summon your inner owl and wolf wisdom to prepare to see, hear, and sniff out the truth at the most opportune moment. The universe wants this for you. Ultimately, good things shall come from it. To succeed, we must know that success is possible and then believe in ourselves and the community of guides, guardians, spiritual and earthly helpers that supports and also benefits from the successful progress of the soul's healing journey. There are energies within us, such as doubt, that can work against liberation, yet when approached with spiritual intelligence, they become the very forces that teach you how to empower yourself. When you recognize this, there is a fearless quality that arises within the soul, and you become willing to be you, more freely, more wildly, more joyfully. How the world needs such joy. Okay, so next I'm going to read this healing process. It's a couple of pages. Okay, begin by connecting to your heart. You can do this by placing a hand at your heart and closing your eyes for a moment. Then set your intention for the healing practice. To do this, you may like to state your own personalized intention. Perhaps that you gain an answer to a particular question, or that you are simply open to receive what you most need at this time. Then express the following invocation. I call upon enlightened divine wisdom of heaven and earth, of the spiritual love that provides clarity with merciful grace and compassion. May this work generate spiritual benefit for all beings. Intend, imagine, and/or visualize a circle of golden light forming around you. This light rises up from the earth. Invisible spiritual energy then descends from the heavens and adds to the radiance of your sacred circle. You may see, sense, feel, or intend that spiritual guides and guardians gather around the circle, including the spirit of owl and the spirit of wolf. Sense the spiritual power and presence. Now is the time for prayers for healing. You can say this prayer aloud and add your own words or thoughts as you choose. Here in the sacred circle, my heart opens to the revelation of truth and soul empowerment to navigate the unknown, gaining insight to overcome all obstacles, growing spiritual strength and confidence. Now is the time for your journey practice. Intend to immerse yourself fully in your practice, mind, body, and soul, letting go of questions and becoming present. The intention and assistance needed will enter your consciousness in the perfect time and the perfect way. The practice is your offering, and through it you are opening to receive. Your practice can be a meditation, movement and dance, singing and chanting, playing a musical instrument, or a combination of these things. If you wish to utilize a particular chant, you may like to work with the Buddhist chant to clear space and empower wisdom. Om Ahang. If you want to move and/or dance, you may like to begin with movements that mirror the soaring owl, progressing to wolf-like movements, grounding you and creating heightened awareness in your body, tuning into your senses. Complete your movement practice by becoming still like the owl, watchful, patient, aware, and perched in a powerful old tree. Continue your journey practice. Sense the guides and guardians with you in this practice. You will be generating spiritual energy through complete presence. When you feel it is time, you are going to allow stillness to grow within you, settling your awareness deeper into your body. You are going to feel the heightened, clear, and sharp awareness of owl and wolf fill you. Complete presence in this moment, relaxed, attentive, grounded, aware. Breath is flowing. Hearing, seeing, smelling, simply experiencing with awareness. When you are ready, you can say the following prayer. I open myself to receive the insight, guidance, and assistance that I need at the perfect time and in the perfect way, protected by enlightened divine wisdom. I choose trust. I am sealed and protected with divine truth. Close your practice by visualizing the guides, guardians, and the sacred circle transforming into sparkling light and wrapping a cloak of protective light around you before the energy disperses by settling into the earth. Ground and hydrate yourself. Pay particular attention to your instincts. Dreams and intuition over the hours and days following your practice. You have completed your healing process. Yeah, so definitely the healing you are coming into is really tapping into, all this wolf and owl energy to become more spiritually strong, to really connect to, your needs, what you need to claim, and particular maybe around kind of like the material domain. a sense of body movement, financial movement, movement of possessions, all these kinds of things, or just like movement of pleasure too. All right, gorgeous healing for you guys. I hope this resonated. I hope some of it integrated in for you. I do feel with these healing messages, sometimes we need to let them sit and then like come back and revisit it a day or two later to reintegrate it and really more deeply understand and hear the message. So feel free to come back and re-listen as many times as you need, but I do suggest kind of giving a day to let something settle in and then revisiting too. Okay, wishing you a beautiful day wherever and whenever you are, and a beautiful healing journey coming in for you. And I will see you in future readings. Hello, Pile 3. Welcome to your healing message. You guys chose Priestess of Tellura. I think that's how it's pronounced. Before I dive into the message, which I'm literally just going to read straight from the guidebook, I do want to pick a tarot card as well for you guys, sort of a significator, indicating why maybe you have been drawn to this message. What has brought you here? We have 5 of Cups, so maybe some kind of loss or some feeling of grief that you're going through. Not seeing the potential that is actually in front of you. That could also be something. So let's dive into this message, and just feel free to connect how that resonates with why you are brought here for you. Okay, so Priestess of Tellura. In the ancient and sacred Chinese art of Taoism, life is revered as an expression of supreme wisdom with its own innate natural healing intelligence. The wise soul chooses to align with the way of life, the Tao, feeling rather than forcing its direction. Earth constantly expresses the Tao, radiating life force through her subtle energy currents. The soul can connect to these vitalizing telluric currents through the body, especially via the soles of the feet, and be spiritually supported by them to grow in wisdom, just as the bird uses invisible currents in the air beneath its wings to take flight. An important decision will lead to significant and uplifting change for your life. Feel your deepest alignment with wisdom to make your choice as you lovingly and creatively shape your future in harmony with the universe. You may already be sensing the imminent change. Trust in Mother Earth's encouragement and support. Yeah, so this definitely, in terms of the 5 of Cups, I think a healing coming in, saying that there is a current taking you somewhere, but you need to kind of tune into where the universe is asking you to focus, and where there is potential, and where there is life and life force and creativity available to you, and wanting your energy and calling you with its currents toward it, and away towards things where you feel like there's a dissipation of energy or a lack of energy. That's sort of what this feels like. Okay, so going further into this, there's a couple of pages that more sort of poignantly interpret this, and then there's a healing process, which is a couple of pages as well. Okay, on any journey, when one has been traveling for long enough, a fork in the road will present itself. This will be a choice point where one must decide to leave something behind, which is the 5 of Cups, in order to make a commitment to what is sensed as the authentic path. As the soul evolves, many options for expression and creative engagement open, yet the path itself becomes more refined, and that which may have been appropriate in the past will no longer be able to support the evolving vibration of the soul. Akin to an increasingly refined spiritual palate, the soul will gravitate towards that which can nourish its maturing tastes and gracefully release that which is no longer compatible, constructive, or aligned. Crossroads are considered powerful places, recognized as such in folklore around the world. Hecate, the ancient Greek crone of the underworld, presides over crossroads along with the messenger of the gods Hermes, also known as Thoth in ancient Egypt. The Yoruba trickster wisdom deity Isu el Gabara is also found at crossroads, and in India, the wisely beloved elephant-headed deity Ganesh is involved at the beginning of any new direction in life. In numerous cultural traditions, shrines were often established at crossroads. These points of intersection represent the meeting of worlds, both spiritual and physical. They mark the liminal spaces filled with uncertainty and potential. They are part of any meaningful journey. The flow of energy in liminal spaces can either support or impede the soul's progress. The Congo cosmogram, known as the Yoa cross, represents the continuity of human life. Intersections between the worlds are depicted as being at the center of the ongoing journey of the soul. Humans face spiritual crossroads during significant choice points in our lives. When aligned with love, such choice points can dramatically transform the course of our lives whilst generating spiritual benefit through multiple dimensions. How can one navigate such uncertainty with wisdom? Logic is useful, but it is not a substitute for the greater creative play of life's wisdom. If we place too much emphasis on intellectual analysis, we may undermine the guiding intelligence of the heart, which senses and responds to telluric nudges to move in a certain direction. The soul has the capability to grow through any choice made, yet some decisions will honor the authentic path of the heart more than others. You are at a point in your life journey where such a decision needs to be made. The choice of the heart is that which holds the highest vibration. It may also be the path that demands the most of you in terms of healing, evolution, courage, and a leap of faith. It may simultaneously seem like the path of least certainty and the path with the most potential promise, but it is not a gamble. It is the most real and true choice for your soul. Such a choice is twofold. It is the choice to affirm something and to release something, and both must be dealt with. The affirmation can be easier, more instantaneous, the leap of the heart that simply says, yes, this fills me with joy, before the mind has a chance to process the sobering reality check of what will be required of you to access that evolved inspirational reality. Do you need to confront a fear? Do you need to step up a certain practice or activity? Do you need to carve out time, separate yourself from negative influences, or find support systems that can help you bear the discomfort that growth, with all its unfamiliarity, entails? Can you love your own heart enough to be willing to meet these demands and summon what is necessary to accomplish your part of the change process, to allow for destiny to accomplish its sacred work through you? Mother Earth, or Tellura, as she was sometimes known in ancient Rome, will take care of the rest. Whether the choice before you appears subtle or radical, there is sacred work required to cultivate the readiness and the capacity to adjust your course. This is the inner work of severance, of cleaving or siphoning off that which can come to you at your quest from the emotional, psychological, and even physical content that must be left behind, because there is simply no space or place for it in the next era of your soul expression. I can't believe how right on this is with the Five of Cups. This is the confrontation with the caterpillar ways that cannot be sustained in the disintegration that occurs in the chrysalis. And neither will caterpillar nor chrysalis and neither caterpillar nor chrysalis ways will work for the emerging butterfly. Nature demonstrates the courage needed to abandon oneself into the miraculous realm of transformation. And at the opportune moment, you will need to claim your wings. Do not allow fear to cause you to turn back from the beauty that wishes to unfold in you and through you into the world. Earth Mother is powerful, generous, and wise. There is much spiritual protection and natural grace championing your evolution. Your soul is readying itself for spiritual flight. Okay, so we have a healing process now, which is 2 pages long. So not quite as long as what I just read, but still a little ways. Okay, connect your heart to your heart by taking a moment to consider what is beautiful to you. Let that beauty, that feeling of love, activate the electrical flow to move gently and peacefully through your heart. When you are ready, say, "For the spiritual benefit of all beings, I attune deeply to the wisdom of Earth Mother. I give thanks for blessings of a precious human life through which my soul can awaken. I ask for clarity, guidance, signs, and healing through enlightened wisdom to touch and inspire my heart with truth. At the perfect time and in the perfect way, I intuitively sense that which my authentic path is asking of me and how to respond. May this work generate light and healing to support the happiness and freedom of all beings." Follow the flow of your breath, allowing your awareness to travel within. See, sense, or feel that your awareness is resting steadily upon the earth. Now allow it to go deeper, as though your soul is gently nestling deep into the receptive body soul of Earth Mother. There is minimal light. Your feeling senses are heightened. You may intuit the slow, steady rhythms of her planetary heartbeat and the movement of subtle electrical currents that are her life force. Allow yourself to experience this with love, simplicity, and presence. Imagine a simple stone altar is before you now, with the branch of a tree resting upon it. From the singular base, twigs branch out of the top and sides in varying V shapes, each representing crossroads of potential paths and possible choices available to you. Send love and peace to this branch with its many pathways represented, including the base of the branch, which symbolizes the path you have been on and the various options that are signified by the diverging twigs. This simple process will help you release any unresolved attachments or confusing elements that may make it more difficult to feel the true guidance of Tellura in your heart. You may feel some discomfort or emotion through this process. When you are ready, imagine or intend that your awareness can flow into the branch and allow it to travel along the pathway that resonates for you. You do not need to direct it. Allow it to happen. Your consciousness may need to remain at a choice point, or it may be ready to flow along a certain path. Observe and allow this without judgment. Honor your soul's rhythm and divine timing. Know that at the right moment, the way will become known to you. In honor of that, see, sense, or feel that a new spiritual dawn is breaking over the horizon of what you have known. Golden light begins to gleam. You can feel its warmth and promise in your heart. Visualize the new spirit of the new cycle, new people, new opportunities. Sense that light repairing and preparing you for a new way. Simply receive this blessing. When you are ready, bring yourself back to the present moment in your body, grounding yourself through becoming aware of your breath flowing in and out. Sense the air on your skin. Place your hands in prayer and say, Mother Earth, Gaia, Terra Mater, Tellura, thank you for the gift of this precious life, of new chances to experience and grow and to awaken my soul. I receive your guidance and blessings now and always with a grateful heart. Place your hands in prayer and bow your head. You have completed your healing. Beautiful message. So definitely at some kind of crossroads, time to leave a chapter behind and to really start listening to the current of your soul, the current of earth, where it's trying to lead you. And yeah, finding that clarity, kind of finding those inspired moments of where your soul is trying to direct you, but it feels like a new chapter coming in and some healing to help you let go of a past chapter, which, it's exciting to go towards a new chapter, but it can always, it's a double-edged sword. There can be a little bit of grief of like letting go of an old path at the same time. But yeah, when this reading comes out, I think we will have just had the Aries eclipse. I'm not exactly sure when I'm going to schedule this, but I think it will be on a Wednesday right after the Aries solar eclipse, and that is very timely for what this said. That is, the Aries energy is all about finding what lights us up, finding our clarity and our direction and our personal agenda. And Aries having the solar eclipse on the North Node is starting a whole new 19-year journey. So it does feel resonant with that. So yeah, good luck with whatever new chapter is coming in for you, with any healing you need of letting go of a past chapter. And yeah, just wishing you also a beautiful day wherever and whenever you are. Something I mentioned in the other two piles, with these healing messages, they're pretty in depth. And so don't feel like you have to have integrated everything that was said. Just integrate what really connected, what leapt out to you. Let a day or two pass, and then maybe listen again, and something else more deeply might integrate as well. Feel free to come back as many times as you need to this. Okay, yeah, have a beautiful day wherever you are, and I will see you in future readings.